Module 3, flashcards for the NASM. Here we go. The normal extensibility of all soft tissues that allow full range of a motion of a joint. Flexibility. What is developed when clients demonstrate poor flexibility? Relative flexibility. The body's ability to produce, reduce, and stabilizes forces in all three planes of motion. Neuromuscular efficiency. When the process when neutral impulses that sense tension are greater than the impulses that cause muscles to contract, providing an inhibitory effect to the muscle spindles. Autogenetic inhibition. What are the 8 reasons for the incorporation of flexibility training? Correct muscle imbalances, increase joint range of motion, decrease tension of muscles, relieve joint stress, improve extensibility, maintain normal functional length of muscles, improve optimal neuromuscular efficiency, improve function. What is the repair process initiated by dysfunction within the connective tissues of the kinetic chain that is treated by the body as an injury? Cumulative injury cycle. Cumulative. The tendency of the body to seek the path of least resistance during functional movement patterns. Relative flexibility. The concept of muscle inhibition caused by a tight agonist which inhibits its functional antagonist. Altered reciprocal inhibition. Altered reciprocal inhibition, synergistic dominance, and arthrokinetic dysfunction all lead to what? Muscle imbalance. Consistently repeating the same pattern of motion which may place abnormal stress on the body. Pattern overload. Law that states soft tissue models along lines of stress. Davis law. What are 3 phases of integrated flexibility continuum? Corrective flexibility, active flexibility, functional flexibility. The type of flexibility designed to improve extensibility of soft tissue and increase neuromuscular efficiency by using reciprocal inhibition. Active flexibility. What are 2 techniques used in corrective flexibility? Static stretching, SMR, myofascial release. Foam rolling. What stretching technique uses antagonist and synergistic muscles to move a limb through its entire range of motion while stretching the functional antagonist? Active isolated stretching. What stretching technique uses functional movements to move the body through a full range of motion at realistic speeds? Dynamic stretching. What type of flexibility is developed during phase 1 of the OPT model? SMR and static stretching. Which stretching technique is used during phase 2 and 3 and 4 of the OPT model? Active isolated stretching. Which stretching technique is used during phase 5 of the OPT model? Dynamic stretching. Stretching technique that focuses on neural system and fascial system of the body by applying gentle force to an adhesion. Myofascial release. What is the minimum amount of time static stretches should be held? 30 seconds. What are 3 things a client should have established prior to incorporating dynamic stretching into a program? Good levels of tissue extensibility, core stability, balance capabilities. What is the minimum duration pressure should be sustained on adhesions while performing myofascial release? 30 seconds. Which heart rate training zone builds aerobic base of aids and aids in recovery. Zone 1. Which heart rate training zone increases endurance and trains the anaerobic threshold? Zone 2. Which heart rate training zone builds high-end work capacity? Zone 3. What prepares body and mind for physical activity, increases heart rate, and respiration rates, increases body temperature? The warm-up. What workout concept consists of movement activities that get heart rate up, such as walking on a treadmill or riding a stationary bike? General warm-up. What workout component consists of stretching movements that mimic the activity to be performed later during the workout? Specific warm-up. What are some general warm-up recommendations? 5 to 10 minutes at low to moderate intensity. What are the warm-up steps for a stabilization level client? SMR, static stretching, 5 to 10 minutes, light cardio. What are the warm-up steps for a strength level client? SMR, active isolated stretching, 5 to 10 minutes of light cardio. What are the warm-up steps for a power level client? SMR, 3 to 10 dynamic stretches. What are 3 reasons to perform cardiorespiratory exercise? Lose weight, reduce stress, and improve health. What is often overlooked segment of a workout that provides the body with a smooth transition from exercise back to steady state rest? Cool down. What are some suggested steps for a cool down? 5 to 10 minutes light cardio, SMR, static stretching. What does the FITTE principle for cardiorespiratory exercise stand for? Frequency, intensity, time, type, and enjoyment. What is recommended frequency for cardiorespiratory training? General health, daily for small quantities of time at moderate intensity to improve fitness, 3 to 5 days per week at high intensity. The level of demand that activity places on a body, intensity. What uses the Borg scale to rate how hard one is training? Rating of perceived exertion, RPE. An informal method used to gauge exercise training intensity, talk test. What stage improves cardio fitness levels during heart rate zone 1? Stage 1. What stage is best for people with low to moderate cardio fitness levels who are ready to begin training at higher intensities? Moves in and out of zone 1 and 2 intro to interval training? Stage 2. For advanced exercisers, what stage uses all 3 heart rate zones for maximal cardiorespiratory improvement used at power level, including high intensity interval training HIIT? Stage 3. With what stage should stage 2 training alternate every other day? Stage 1. Stage 2 intervals should have what work-rest ratio? Start with 1 to 3, progress to 1 to 2, and eventually 1 to 1. What is just as beneficial as traditional cardio for health? Circuit training. What structures make up the core? Lumbo-pelvic hip complex, also known as LPHC, including the lumbar spine, the pelvic girdle, abdomen, and hip joint. What are the structures of the LPHC? Lumbar spine, pelvic girdle, abdomen, and hip joint. Which muscles directly attach to the vertebrae and stabilize the spine? Local stabilization musculature. Pulling the navel towards the spine to increase core stability is the drawing in maneuver. What is the reflex that realigns the eyes by anteriorly rotating the pelvis when the cervical spine is in extension? Pelvo-ocular reflex. Co-contraction of core movement muscles to increase LPH stability. Abdominal bracing. What are 4 core exercises in the strength level? Ball crunch, back extensions, reverse crunch, cable rotations. Which characteristics help identify exercise in core stabilization level? Involve little motion through the spine and pelvis. What are 4 core stabilization exercises? Marching, floor bridge, floor prone cobra, prone iso abs. What are 4 core power exercises? Rotation, chest pass, ball machine, ball pull over throw, front ball, oblique throw, soccer throw. Core power exercises are easily identified by explosive movements with medicine ball. Exercises with little to no motion of the spine and pelvis used to improve neuromuscular efficiency and invertebral stability. Core stabilization. What are 3 primary goals of core training program? Develop neuromuscular efficiency, invertebral and LPHC stability, and functional strength. On what should core training focus? Quality of movement. What is the primary goal of core power training? Develop the ability to stabilize and generate force at functional applicable speeds. Okay, that is all 62 flashcards of Module 3. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe.